I'm gonna preface this. I'm gonna preface this and I'm very nervous to make this video. Why? Because my mother might watch this video. And it is all about the steamy TikTok books that I see all over TikTok. And I don't want my mother to send my 25-year-old ass to a Catholic school. So Mom, if you are watching this, I am going to warn you. Please, please, please don't watch this. Please. But if you are gonna watch this, just know I am still innocent. I don't know how to, it sounds wrong, but I am a good little noodle. Just don't watch this. And if you are, just be aware that there's going to be a lot of sexual content. And this does not reflect on anything I have done. It's just in the book. Just don't watch this. Just don't watch it. Just don't watch it. Don't do it. Just do us both a favor and just click away. Click away. Hey friends, it is Therese. I started a new vlog. I have been meaning to do this for a while. I got the books that I wanted to do for this vlog, 2 of them from my birthday and then the other one I got a couple months ago. But I am going to be rating some of TikTok's steamy recommendations. I'm gonna also add another preface to this if you haven't seen the hot mess that was the last clip. But I don't read a lot of erotica, don't read a lot of romance with smut. I used to read a lot of fanfic with smut. I don't know how that happened when I was younger, but I did. I do occasionally write smut, but I don't read it often. I've been trying to get more into the romance genre, more into the smutty genre, so it's a process, but we're trying to get there because it's just, I like a nice book that I can just turn my brain off. So yeah, but I'm going to be reading 3 books in this vlog. It's going to be Neon Gods by Katee Roberts, A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett J. Sinclair, and then Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I don't know how long this vlog is going to be. It's going to be very interesting trying to do that because I don't do that normally, but I will try to keep it within 45 minutes. I'm sure I can do that. I just finished Gods of Jade and Shadow, which is not a smutty book. It's a very emotional book. I would like some reparations from that. So I'm currently processing, but I do have an interview to prepare for tomorrow. So I thought I would just start this vlog right now. I'm going to put it out there. I will have boyfriend interludes. Not for the reasons you think. I just want to see him get really red and embarrassed when I, his loving girlfriend, reads out loud to him all of the sex scenes that I can possibly find whenever I'm around him. And I see him at least 2 to 3 times a week. So the first book I'm going to start off with is actually Neon Gods by Katee Roberts. I haven't heard a ton about this book in like kind of the booktube / book Twitter sphere. I think I saw Mina from Mina Reads starting this book a few weeks ago or a couple days ago. I don't remember. I haven't heard anything about Ugly Love either, but my friend Andrea did in fact read Touch of Darkness. So I'll probably, in the order, I'm going to go with Neon Gods, Touch of Darkness, and then Ugly Love, and leave Colleen Hoover for last because I heard that Colleen Hoover's books are a ride. And I'm not ready. Not ready. I even have It Ends With Us just chilling. So I should also be picking that up sometime soon and crying. But right now I'm going to start off with Neon Gods. The stand, my tripod, my mini tripod is currently standing on the book to be at like a better surface. So I'm just gonna throw a shot of the book here. Basically this is an adult, everyone says it's spicy, but I don't know exactly how spicy it is. Novel, which is Hades and Persephone retelling, following Persephone, who is running away from Zeus at the current moment and runs into the underworld / this underground club kind of scene where Hades is running it. I just want to start the vlog off. I'll probably be reading some of this tonight when I'm done kind of prepping for my interview. It's only 9:30. It's only 9:30. You can't see that, but it's only 9:30, so we're good. But I need to prepare for this interview a little bit, study up the company and potential interview questions for a preliminary phone interview. And then I do want to write and edit a little bit. I'm not gonna win Nano this year, I've accepted that, but I have kind of gotten back into the mode of writing when I can and trying to make time for it, which is kind of my goal for Nano in general, because I've been struggling with that and I've been feeling really inspired by it. So I do want to kind of ride that high and maybe edit a few chapters of my WIP that I do plan on finishing this month, and then go from there. I'm so annoyed because I got an idea for a different WIP idea, and that isn't my Nano novel, and I'm just sitting here like, thanks, I really appreciate this. No, truly. So but yeah, that's about it for this intro. I'll catch up with you guys when I start reading the book. I'm sure I'll have b-roll because I've been really bad about, I'm either really good or really bad about doing b-roll, and recently it's been really bad. It's been like one shot of b-roll for an entire video, which is fine because it makes them super chatty, but then I feel like hearing my voice for 40 minutes without a break, it's a little grating sometimes, because I hear my voice for 40 minutes without a break. So Tuesday. Just got done drying most of my hair. I am about 100 pages into the book, almost 100 pages into the book, and I can tell you now a better version of a better description of the plot. So it's like a modern day situation, like they have California and Virginia and all the 50 states, and it's like a city within there that's run by the 13, which is like the 13 Olympic gods that technically it's supposed to be 12, but they included Hades in there, I believe, even though he doesn't reside in Olympia. And it's not like the gods, it's like a position. So there have been multiple Zeuses and there have been multiple Heras, and Hades' dad used to be Hades and now he is Hades. And I don't know how you name your child at that point. Like, yeah, Zeus Jr. Anywho, Persephone's power-hungry mother ended up signing her up for a marriage to Zeus, who is 60 when she is 24. Not the only thing creepy about him. He also is now currently on his third Hera, which means he just killed his other wives. So she runs away to the lower half of the city and crosses the river Styx to run into Hades, and in her attempt to kind of keep herself from getting married to Zeus, she tells him, you know, keep me here for 3 months. When I turn 25, I'm out of here, and you can drive Zeus crazy. And then Hades is like, he's not gonna buy it, blah, 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 blah. So she goes, okay, then unsully the virgin. And I'm sitting here like, what? So I'm about 3 chapters away from what looks like to be the first kind of like smutty scene. And for y'all who don't know, smut is different from erotica. Erotica is the entirety of the book. It is what drives the plot along, whereas smut is just kind of there. Like, you could take the smut out and you don't have to worry about it ruining the plot or anything. Whereas with erotica, yeah. But I'm almost 3 chapters away from the smutty scene. My boyfriend's here, so once I reach the smutty scene, I'll probably read it to him because I like seeing his faces when he gets all red and awkward. So apparently Hades is into some kinky shit. Right now they're practicing for having sex in a public party. Hi everyone, this is my boyfriend Jake. You've met him, I think, in one vlog already. He's not happy. My sweet little golden retriever boyfriend. It's okay. It's okay. Alright. Are you ready? I don't know if I'm ready. I'll read like from here to here, okay?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. I concentrate on moving slowly because the alternative is to fall on her like a starving creature and undo all the fragile trust I've built. She's soft and wet and hot as fuck. I work 2 fingers into her and she lets loose the most delicious whimpering sound and clamps around me. It's only 1 sentence. 2, 3 sentences. I explore her slowly, looking for that spot that'll make her go molten, but it's not enough. I need to see her, see all of her, soon, and that's in italics. The italics is very, like...
Okay.
I reach down with my free hand and hook her thigh, lifting it and spreading her wide to give me better access, putting her on display for an audience of none. I've always liked to play publicly, and I can't deny how intensely I anticipate claiming her like this in front of a crowded room. Her response tonight indicates that she'll get off on it just as hard as I will. I stroke her clit with my thumb, experimenting until I find the right motion that has her whole body going tight. I lean down until my lips brush her ear. Tomorrow night this room will be filled with people and everyone showing up to get a good look at your pretty pussy, to hear how sweetly I can make you come.
Why did I buy this for you? Oh no. I need a warning before I buy you any books in the future. Like...
Are you okay?
Oh.
Are you okay?
Okay. Those are words.
They are words. I can continue if you want.
Oh boy.
But I'm not, because you look like you're about to burst.
If you want to, you can. You just read away.
Let me just skim really quickly.
Oh no.
Okay, so going off the how sweetly I can make you come. This is Persephone talking. Oh gods, now Hades. Will you put on a good show for them, Persephone? I can't help dragging my mouth along her neck. It's like the realization that I can touch her however I want, that she's dancing on the edge of an orgasm, that she wants more. It's finally hitting me. This woman is mine, even if only for a few months. It's heady knowledge? Heady knowledge? Hades, please. I go still and she tries to roll her hips to keep fucking my fingers. That earns her a nip on her shoulder. Please what? Be explicit. Make me come. Her inhale is ragged. Kiss me, fuck me, just don't stop. I won't stop. My words come out as a growl, but I don't give a damn. I kiss Persephone and resume driving her toward orgasm. She tastes like summertime. I want to wrap her up and keep her safe. I want to fuck her until all her mass shatter and she cries as she comes around my cock.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh god, I feel dirty. You read this for fun?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
What? Just like how guys watch porn, women prefer to read about it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Whatever gets you off. Whatever races your finger or something, I don't know. Fucking erotic words.
Okay, that's gonna be it for this clip. I think my boyfriend's about to have an aneurysm, so let's all thank Jake because he will pop up for another 2 books.
Oh boy.
There. It's okay. I'm sure that the next one won't have as much kinky shit as this one because I didn't even realize how kinky Hades was in this one.
Uh-huh.
I genuinely hate driving in this part of town because no one gives a damn about their car or anyone else's car or the rules of the road. But it is now Wednesday. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I'm running out of light here. Let me just wait for this car to pass because some of y'all are judgy little white people. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little display of my boyfriend listening to me read out erotica to him. This book is definitely erotica. There's a lot more sex scenes that help further the plot along, rather than random little smut scenes that are tossed in there for pure enjoyment. Either or is fine, of course. Hope you guys enjoyed that, but there are 2 more books left in this vlog, both of which he will be subjected to listening to me read out the smut scenes to him. So we'll just give the white boy some snaps, because he's a trooper. He's such a trooper. But the book, in terms of like decent smut, is fine. Sex scenes are fine. Right now, the biggest thing I'm struggling with is the plot. I feel like the plot is lacking. Like, Zeus is supposed to be this big baddie who will destroy anyone and is sought out to be the bad guy of this book, but he's just non-existent at the moment. We just get like random threats from every other character but Zeus. Don't know why that is, but it is what it is, I suppose. What else can I say? That's really the biggest issue I've had with it so far. I don't know why. I think I'm just there. She just basically just describes, very frankly, people and their skin color and their body size. Like, she said that Juliet was a black woman, capital B. That was all I got of her description. And then during one of the sex scenes, they were basically watching like a BDSM performance, full on insertion, before they had their own intercourse in front of public. And she just really just kind of described it like the white man and the plus size white lady. I don't know if that's her preferred writing style, or if this is kind of the style of writing for the erotica genre, or if she's genuinely just not comfortable with describing skin color and body types in the hopes of offending people. But it was just a little weird to me. It's a little bit more nitpicky, really, because it is just a very frank thing. But like, she's writing erotica. She can describe like lavish dresses and like sex in great detail. So I don't know why like skin color and like body size would be such a difficult thing for her to write about. But again, it's a little bit more nitpicky than it is anything else. And I don't have a big issue with it right now. I'm about halfway through, so I'm hoping to finish this up sometime before the end of the week, so I can start on A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett J. Sinclair. I'll keep you guys posted on what I have to do, of how far I am in the book by tonight. I have a lot of things to do. I have something to prepare for. I'll keep you guys updated on that something, probably when that happens and when I hear back. But I have something to do tonight to prepare for, and then I want to film a bullet journal with me video. It was gonna be We Hunt the Flame plus my boyfriend and mine's anniversary spreads, but I did not have any time at all this week. Don't have money either to get the pictures that I needed printed that I can use. So I think I'm just gonna do We Hunt the Flame and then probably like catch up on some of my other spreads. Like, I have a couple movie spreads, like one from the Candyman and then Shang-Chi, that I need to finish. So I think I'll do that and then do like anniversary spread mixed in with my Portland spread and everything, probably come when I get the chance to do that. But I would like to, I do mainly like more fandom journaling in my channel, and I want to do more personal life journaling. My boyfriend is clearly part of this channel. He's popped up a few times, so he doesn't have a problem with it. Portland, I do have a picture of me and my friend, but I think I'll just flip it over and then tape it in after the fact, because I don't know how comfortable she is with showing her face on this channel, and I don't feel like asking. But yeah, I have a chiropractor appointment in like 30 minutes. My work is like right down the street, so it's not difficult for me to get here. So I don't think I can read because I am out of sunlight, as you guys can clearly tell in the nighttime. God, I hate daylight savings, but I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. Hopefully things go well and I have another video that I'll be able to upload on Monday. Hello. It's Thursday. Still trying to get my hair back into somewhat normal, so it's gonna look a little wonky. It's dry, but it's some parts dried wonky, but that's okay because I've accepted it. I am a little over halfway. I didn't get a chance to read a ton on my lunch today. I was kind of really busy with big girl things. I will update you guys when I hear back from it, or I won't, depending on what happens. But I think I should be able to finish this tonight, and then I'll start Touch of Darkness tomorrow. Probably while I'm at my boyfriend's chilling. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. It's like I want to pick it up and read more, so it's not terrible. But I feel like I feel like there's just not a lot of plot. Like you can just see it that I think she struggled a little bit with really furthering the plot past just the erotic bits. Because Zeus is supposed to be this big baddie, but we really don't see him or don't hear from him. He's just this ever-present being that's supposed to be there that like threatens them and what Persephone wants to do versus what he wants and yada yada yada. So I don't know how that'll come to a head and finish up in the, like these last like couple hundred pages, but we'll find out. We will see. Right now I am probably gonna steal some of my roommate's Airheads. She gave me permission, so technically I'm not stealing. And I did tell her that I was gonna take some after work, so she's aware. It is now Saturday night. I just got back from my boyfriend's. It was date night tonight, so we went out and saw Eternals and got sushi. Eternals was a really good movie. I do have to agree with some of the critics though, in the sense that but I think there were too many characters, and like I love a huge cast of characters. You guys know me, it's my thing. But I think given the 2.5 hours plus the huge plot they had to include in order to make it part of a Marvel kind of cinematic universe, too many characters to kind of have in that span of time. So I think it would have been a lot more interesting to give only a certain bit of characters a bit more screen time and then take the back seat and have the rest of the characters such as Druig, Makari, and Athena take a more in-your-face kind of seat come the sequel. Because I think that would have made a lot more sense. But I really liked it. It's one of my favorites. I think the ending, the secret scene, the way I stood up, the way I almost stood up was great. But I really loved it, and I cannot wait to see what the sequel has in store, because I think that'll give us more room to again develop the characters that kind of not got, I say, overshadowed, but didn't get as much screen time as I think everyone would have preferred. But I did finish Neon Gods last night. I really enjoyed it. I thought I didn't like, it's not like top tier literature. It is erotica. The point of the story moves forward only like sex is because of sex. There are some instances otherwise that get moved forward, but most of it does get moved forward. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. In terms of enjoyment, it was really good. In terms of plot and character development, I feel like it was lacking. Definitely I would say a beginner spicy book for those who might be wanting to dip their toes in a little bit and want to kind of see something a little bit more recognizable. I recommend, but it's not like top tier literature. It's not top tier smut. It's not the best. I think Katie Roberts still has a long way to go in order to be like what I think a lot of people like when it comes to erotica writing. Yeah, I did also start A Touch of Darkness last night. I did not realize that it wasn't a retelling, but like the actual gods in real life, modern day. According to the synopsis, they're only gods in name now, and that's about as far as I got. Right now, Persephone is sitting in a coffee shop eating, so I will I'll probably won't give you guys any more updates tonight. I'm going to read a little bit or write, because I'm like 4 chapters away from finishing through my read-through and making edits of my whip. So I would like to be able to go ahead and do that tonight, or at least finish most of it tonight and just chill. I will let you guys know when I get the chance to read more of Touch of Darkness. I'll probably read some of it tomorrow, I'd like to say, and then come Tuesday you will see some of my boyfriend's reactions to some of the smut that's going on, because I don't know, I find it a kick just to see his facial features. It's funny to me. If it's not to you guys, that sucks, but it's funny to me. So hopefully some of y'all also find some hilarity in his reactions, because that's partially why I did this video, is because I knew his reactions would be perfect. Just hilarious. Hey friends, it is now Monday. I didn't get a chance to read a ton of the book yesterday. Yesterday was just kind of me editing for like 5 hours. Right now it's like 7 o'clock. I just got done doing some things. Cleared out some things for the fridge because Thanksgiving, so we're gonna have a lot of leftovers. I did get a chance to read some of the book today during my lunch break. I had to do some very big girl things, and I'm sure I'll have more chances to do that tomorrow, to read as well tomorrow. I'm like 60 pages in, and as of right now, I can tell this is gonna be more smutty than full-on erotica. It's, like I said, 50 pages, and there's not much of a hint of like sexual attraction or anything. It's still very much like, oh, I've never been kissed, which I'm kind of over seeing that aspect in like a lot of Persephone's and Hades retellings. But it is what it is. But, you know, there will be some type of smut because they mentioned the word desire in italics. I'm intrigued to see where this goes. I'm not entirely sure. Like, it seems a lot more plot driven than the last book, where it was just like we did have some plot but it didn't make a lot of sense. This one seems to be a bit more cohesive, so I'm excited to see where it's going to go with this. I don't think this will end up being as smutty as I'd liked. I do want to get to like at least one smut scene or something for my boyfriend, because it would be interesting to see his perspective again. But I don't know. I'll probably do like a quick little flip through and just see, but from the looks of it, I don't see a lot of like spicy, which is weird because everyone said this was also very spicy. I am currently making some rice right now. My mom made some lumpia, so I have it frozen in my freezer, so I'm just gonna fry that once the rice is done, but that's for dinner. Okay, so there is some, but it's like 200 pages in, so I'm gonna just kind of do a little bit of a flip through just to see where this starts, or if I can find something. Oh, there we go. I think I can, so that I can like mark it and read up to that, so that way my boyfriend can have some little fun. And by fun, I mean just go completely red in the face and be embarrassed and question all of his decisions that have led up to dating me and agreeing to this, because he did agree wholeheartedly. Granted, he said it was sure, which I believe is Californian speak for yes, I'll do it. But the things he does for love, let's just give cute little white boy a round of applause. Friends, it's now Wednesday, so I'm about 100 or so pages into the book. I'm just not feeling it. It's very plot, which is fine. It's very plot heavy, which is fine. But I feel like it's just not vibing with me. I can feel it sending me into a book slump if I continue down this path. So the plan is for tonight is to edit a video, eat dinner, finish this book. I feel like if I just like sit down while I'm eating or something, or like right before bed, I should be a-okay, and then just like blast through it and then start Ugly Love tomorrow. This one will probably not have a boyfriend interlude because there are no smut scenes yet. Right now, it's just a book, probably a book with smut, and not an erotic book. And then after all that's done, videos uploaded ready for Friday. We got book done. I get to catch some Pokemon because my boyfriend got me Pokemon Shining Pearl as an early Christmas present. So I've been playing that since yesterday. But yeah, I'm gonna start editing a video now. It's like 6:40-ish. Probably have dinner around like 8 or so. So yeah, I'm on page 225. They just finally had sex. Finally. It's like almost 11. But you're telling me that Virgin Persephone and probably more experienced Hades are currently having morning sex without foreplay. What? That hurts. I don't know what I think about the tear. I would kill a man. So it's like about 11:30. I need to go to bed because my cats, I have a busy day tomorrow, and sadly my cats are kind of very tired. I'm also pretty tired. So I finished the book, 2 out of 5 stars. It's a really big disappointment. There wasn't much smut to begin with. I would even hardly call this smut. There wasn't much of a plot. The characters were really flat. There was no chemistry at all, no growth from anyone. Maybe a slight bit of growth at the end, and the plot just seemed to be going really kind of nowhere. Really disappointed, so I'm hoping Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover is a little better. So I'll catch up with you guys when I get that started. I'll probably start that tomorrow, hopefully. But yeah, I need to go to bed, or at least lay down and play some Pokemon before bed, because it's getting late. Not that I can't stay up, but I probably should get up a little early tomorrow to finish a thumbnail for the video, and then get ready, because I'm going to have a very, 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 very busy day tomorrow. You know that feeling, sorry for the hair, it's wash day, but you know that feeling when you realize you fucked up, and you're like, ooh, me right now. I'm supposed to have all 3 books finished by today, so I can start editing them for Monday, and I just started Ugly Love yesterday. So Ugly Love is an adult romance, which has brother's best friend trope, and I think enemies to lovers, or people who know each other with benefits into lovers. It seems interesting so far. I'm only a couple pages in. It seems to be a pretty quick read, so I'm hoping I can get through most of it tonight. Today I'm going to be finally decorating my room, so it looks more like a room and less like I just moved in. But yeah, so I need to finish books tonight, and I will have my boyfriend read the smut scenes in this one. He didn't get to enjoy the mess that was A Touch of Darkness. I don't know if I'll subject him to that, because that was painful. So I'm reading Ugly Love while I wait for my boyfriend to come pick me up for lunch. I did start decorating my room a little bit. I threw up those pictures there, put a little like accomplishment wall over there. I'm gonna probably finish up most of the decorations today, but we have a flashback where Miles is talking about Rachel, because he is drunk right now in present day in Tate's brother's apartment, and he was talking about Rachel. And he meets her for the first time, and he automatically starts writing poetry about her, and I'm just like, was not expecting this. I was expecting a very bad boy scenario, not a poetry writing fanatic, but sure. But I'll keep you guys updated on the book. That bit was very unexpected. Very unexpected. It was Saturday. Thought I'd give you an update. I'm about 110 pages into Ugly Love. It's interesting so far. In terms of it being a good book, I like it. It's definitely intriguing, and I want to keep reading. My hair is a frizzy mess. Please ignore it. In terms of it, just a book in general, it's really good. The one thing that annoys me is the poetry version. So we jump 6 years into the past, like every other chapter, into Miles' perspective, as he's talking about his first love and his previous relationship, who happens to be his future stepsister. I know, keep up with me here. Who he didn't know was going to be his stepsister, because his dad kept his relationship under wraps for a year. I don't know. But the poetry just doesn't It's like modern poetry. So it's contemporary poetry where it's like a sentence basically. And for the most part, I like that kind of poetry. It's really simple, easy to get into. It's what got me into poetry in the first place. But it's not even poetic. It's just the sentences broken up into different paragraphs. There's no beat or rhyme or anything to it, and I can't even find it as I'm like mentally reading or trying to read along. By the looks of it, this book is just gonna be a smutty book. There will be smut in the book. It's not an actual erotic book. The only other book that I've read so far that is erotica is Neon Gods. Touch of Darkness tried, it really tried, but it was just too immature writing to be considered erotica. I'm not gonna lie, there's nothing sexy. I don't care if you're a god, there's nothing sexy but lack of foreplay. Even my friends like, ooh, imagine that friction. I'm like, no, I don't want to imagine that friction. Get it away. But I'm probably gonna try to finish this today. I'm gonna be FaceTiming with my friend probably in like 30 minutes right now. So I'm just gonna finish up these next couple chapters because they're pretty short chapters, and then start Pokemon while I wait for my friend. But yeah, it's just, what is up with these books and this lack of foreplay? What? We're not having foreplay after he has sex inside. They have penetrative sex, and he finishes. Well, I guess it's time to read the scene to my boyfriend. I'll be back. Poor thing, he's making me waffles because I'm hungry. Oh, he loves me.
See, you know he loves me because he made me pancakes and now I'm reading smut to him.
Waffles.
Waffles. Oh, let me just try to adjust this. Okay, so I'm gonna preface this by saying there hasn't been any foreplay, but he hasn't had sex in 6 years, so that makes it okay. I'll make this up to you in a few minutes, promise, he says, pausing between my legs, waiting for approval. Miles, I say, I don't care about any of that, I just want you inside me. I care about that. Thank God, he sighs. He takes my leg behind the knee with his right hand and then his lips meet mine. He thrusts himself inside me so unexpectedly hard and fast I practically scream into his mouth. He doesn't stop to ask me if it hurts. He doesn't slow down. He pushes harder and deeper until there isn't any way we could possibly get any closer. It does hurt, but in the best way possible. I'm moaning into his mouth and he's groaning against my neck and his lips are everywhere, along with his hands. It's rough, it's carnal, and heavy and hot. And it's not quiet at all. It's fast, and I can tell by the tensing of his back beneath my hands that he was right. This won't take him long. Tate, he breathes. God, Tate. God is in italics, by the way, just to really emphasize how I feel. The muscles in his legs become tight and he begins to shake. Fuck, that is also in italics. He groans. His lips press to mine hard, and he holds himself still, despite the tremors moving throughout his legs and his back. He pulls his lips from mine and exhales a huge breath, dropping his forehead to the side of my head. Jesus fucking Christ. The Christ is in italics, by the way. He says, still tense, still shaking, still pressed deep inside me.
Wait, you're telling me in this world of Greek gods...
This is a different one. I finished that one the other day.
Oh, okay. Cool.
This is normal people.
Okay.
Apparently normal people don't need to have foreplay before sex.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Imagine all that friction, and he's wearing a condom.
Yeah, the condom makes it a little better, I guess. It's lubricated.
She's not, though.
I know.
He didn't put any.
It's not good.
He didn't put any lube
better.
on the condom.
It's better.
He didn't put any lube on the condom.
There's lube on there. It's better than nothing. It helps. Just a little bit. Not a lot, but it helps.
The second he pulls out of me, his lips are on my neck, moving down until they meet my breasts. He kisses them, but only briefly before he's back at my mouth again. I want to taste you, he says. Is that okay? You want me to continue, or?
Go for it.
I nod vigorously. He pulls away from the bed, disposes of the condom, and then, ooh, imagine how that tastes with like rubber.
Yeah, just keep going.
returns to his spot next to me. I watch him the entire time because as much as he didn't want to know how long it's been since I've been with a guy, it's been almost a year. That's not anywhere near the 6 years he's waited, but it's been long enough to know that I don't want to miss this by keeping my eyes closed. Especially now that I get to stare freely at the V. He has muscles, so it's a very defined V going into his crotch, you know. Okay. And not have to be embarrassed by the fact that I can't take my eyes off of him. He's watching my body now with the same fascination as his hands glide across my stomach, then moves down until he reaches my thighs. Do you need a minute?
I'm just keep going.
Are you trying to visualize it?
I'm just taking it in. Just go for it.
He pushes my legs apart as he watches what he's doing to me with so much enthrallment. I have to keep my eyes open so I can watch him watch me. Seeing what I do to him is enough of a turn on without him even touching me. Two of his fingers slide into me and I suddenly find it a lot more difficult to continue watching him. His thumb remains outside of me, teasing every spot it can touch. Only really so much you can do with your thumb when you're... Right?
Yeah.
I moan and let my hands fall to the bed fall above my head as my eyes close. I pray he doesn't stop. I don't want him to stop. His mouth meets mine and he kisses me softly, his lips a stark contrast to the pressure of his hand. His mouth slowly begins to explore its way down my chin until it's on my neck, the dip of my throat trailing down my chest, covering my nipple, down my stomach, down, holy shit. The holy shit is italics, down.
Mm-hmm.
He settles himself between my legs, his fingers inside me as his tongue meets my skin, separating me, causing my back to arch and my mind to let go. You want me to...
It's rest time.
You want me to stop?
You do whatever you gotta do. I'm here for you.
I just let go. I don't care that I'm moaning so loudly. I probably just woke up the entire floor. Say nothing. I don't care that I'm digging my heels into the mattress. Say nothing. Don't look at me. Say nothing.
Nothing.
Trying to pull away from him because it's too much. I don't care that his fingers leave me in order to grip my hips and hold me against his mouth, refusing to let me climb away from him. Thank God. I don't know about thanking God at that point. I don't care that I'm more likely hurting him, pulling his hair, pushing him into me, doing whatever I can to reach a point so high I'm almost positive I've never been there before. Who have you dated in the past? My legs begin to shake and his fingers find their way back inside me, and I'm pretty sure I'm trying to smother myself with his pillow because I don't want to get him kicked out of this apartment building by screaming as loud as I need to scream right now. Say nothing. All of a sudden, I feel as if I'm up in the air, flying. I feel like I could not look down. I'm assuming she's climaxing. And there would be a sunrise below me. I feel like I'm soaring. I'm, oh God, italics. I'm, Jesus Christ, italics. I'm, this, him, italics. I'm falling, I'm floating. Wow, the rest of the wows aren't italics. Wow. I never want to touch the ground again. When I've completely melted to the bed, he hungrily works his mouth back up my body. He takes the pillow off my bed, tosses it aside, and then kisses me briefly. One more time. Nope, we're gonna stop there. So what'd you think?
Uh-huh. Yeah. What the fuck?
What? Which part?
All of it. You enjoy reading this?
Depends. This one's a little for me right now, I'm not gonna lie. Mainly because they had sex before there was any foreplay involved. So it's like, I'm just imagining the
But you enjoy this genre?
Yeah.
Oh boy. That's something. It's a mood. Awesome.
You're so rad.
Alright, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool.
What we're gonna let him have a moment because I think he needs to process.
So I'm now at home, as you can tell by my pajamas, and my very homey room, my very homey living room. I am reading the book. I think I probably will end up finishing this up tonight. I think I need a break from screens for a little bit. So I have Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea, because there are a lot of Pokemon things on Amazon Prime right now. A couple on Netflix, but some of the older stuff I wanted to watch on here. Anywho, this doesn't feel like just a friends with benefits situation. It already feels like they're a couple. So I don't know what's going on, essentially, or what's happening here. But I guess I'll find out. The sex scene was very interesting, and I don't know how to process it. Clearly, you guys saw most of it. He kind of continued on after that, basically. And so, like, one more time. I guess he got it up very quickly and had sex with her again. She seemed to have been pretty exhausted. She just kind of laid there and let it happen, but... Not sure how to feel. Not sure how to feel. But I think I'm going to get some water, make some hot cocoa while I'm reading. So I'll catch up with you guys with more updates. And say hi to Nico. He's staring at me right now, if you can see him. Look at that face. Look at that face. Yeah. Okay, so I thought I'd read you guys some of this poetry because I still don't understand it. It's just like it reads just. That's my fridge. It reads just like it's just sentences, which is it's how it's supposed to be for contemporary poetry. But I feel like with contemporary poetry specifically, it should have more of like there should be some pacing, some beats, you know, something. Ay nako. Sorry, my nail is trying to come off, so my hair gets caught in it. There should be like some pacing. Or some beats or something, you know, that kind of makes it flow. But here. Everything is better now that I have Rachel. Falling asleep is better. Knowing Rachel is falling asleep right across the hall. Waking up every morning is so much better. Knowing Rachel is waking up right across the hall. This is 6 years ago, you know, falling in love with his almost stepsister. Going to school is better now that we go together. Let's skip today, I tell Rachel when we pull into the parking lot of the school. I'm sure skipping school is even better with Rachel. What if we get caught? She doesn't sound like she really cares if we get caught. I hope we get caught, I tell her. That means we'd be grounded, together, in the same house. My words make Rachel smile. She leans across the seat and slides her hand around my neck. I love it when she does that. Being grounded with you sounds really fun. Let's do it. She leans forward and gives me a simple, quick peck on the lips. Simple kisses are better when they're from Rachel. You make everything better, I tell her. My life, it's better with you in it. My words make Rachel smile again. Rachel doesn't know this, but every word I speak is voiced for that sole reason, to make her smile. See, that sounds poetic, but the stuff before it doesn't sound like it. Like, it just sounds like he's narrating it, and I don't know how to feel about it. Like, it's not poetry, it's just you breaking up a paragraph. I am just so confused. I don't know if the book is skipping over the actual foreplay. Like, it's a nitpicky thing, but it's just one of those things where I'm like, it's kind of important. Like, no amount of, like, boob touchy or kissy or grinding will do anything. And I don't know, like, are they just going off the lube that's in the condom? Or, like, on that comes with the condom? It's still, I feel like it's just not, like, you're not, like, I get lubrication from the condom helps, but, like, the lubrication from your vagina is great because that's how you open up. Alrighty, so I just finished the book. 4 out of 5 stars. It's a good read. It's interesting. It's very... Let me hold up the book here. it's a good read. It's engaging. It's interesting. It's more of a book with smut rather than an erotica. Still have issues about the lack of foreplay in most of the scenes, but that's fine. There were scenes that definitely did move along the plot, so can't be faulted for that. But it's not, if you're looking for a super spicy, like, erotica level book, this is not it. It's just a romance novel with a lot of sex in it. I will say this though, the one thing that dinged me, aside from the lack of foreplay, because I need to talk to Colleen Hoover and ask her if her husband is making her feel things, because I don't think this is it. Anywho, the one thing that did ding me is that the ending was very rushed. I feel like some of the things, like Corbin was a protective older brother, and then when he found out, that went away in like a couple pages. And then the entire situation with Miles and his past, that got wrapped up super quickly, which made no sense to me considering it took this entirety of this book, plus like 6 pages. It was super rushed toward the ending, and I feel like I would have been more satisfied if it ended with just them getting together, rather than the whole shebang kip caboodle. Just because clearly Miles has a lot of healing to do, which makes this picture a lot sadder actually. But still, it's obviously has a lot of healing to do. So I would have just liked it if he didn't heal so quickly in the span of like maybe 50 pages, and we just got him to begin healing, which he did start. He started healing at the end, and then just them start a relationship and take things emotionally slow. Because it went quickly physically, and then emotionally it also went by pretty quickly too. But I enjoyed it. Definitely don't know if it'll be my favorite Colleen Hoover book. I have one more, and it ends with us, and I've heard Colleen Hoover is a talented, I guess, new adult romance writer, so I will be reading more of her work. But yeah, but that is it for this vlog. It is an interesting vlog. Yeah. I think the only one that actually stands up to like TikTok spice, and actually is spice, would be Neon Gods. I feel like that book had a lot more spice to it. It was exactly what you think when you think of a spicy book. The sex and the smut drove the plot along, and that was the heart of it. Touch of Darkness was which is very immature writing, and the world building was really messy, and I feel like nothing happened at all. I don't even remember what happened. That's how boring it was. Ugly Love was actually, like, in terms of plot, probably my favorite out of the 3, but in terms of spice, which is what we are doing in this video, not my favorite. But I do think Ugly Love is probably going to be a new favorite of mine, just because I liked the pacing and the characters. I just wasn't a huge fan of that very rushed ending. Overall, do we trust TikTok on book recommendations as of right now? Not so much for spicy. I think for spicy, if you're going to go to TikTok for those recommendations, you're going to have to, like, really go into Goodreads and, like, read those recommendations or those reviews and make sure it's what you're looking for. Because everyone's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of sex in it. It's great, but there's a difference between a book with sex and a book that uses sex as a plot device to move the plot along. But in terms of books, like just books you can enjoy and just turn your brain off, I think there's promise. Because Ugly Love, I would have never thought about reading anything from Colleen Hoover had I not seen it on TikTok. So I guess there's some progress there, but the other recommendations I've seen on TikTok so far are just things to see on BookTube. I see on BookTube. And oftentimes they lack the critical thinking that you need to do when you are a book reviewer. But yeah, I guess we'll follow this up with a part 2, probably a less spicy TikTok situation. I think my boyfriend needs to recover after reading those scenes to him. Yeah, if you guys like this video and want me to do more like TikTok recommends, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll go ahead and start planning that into the new year. But until next time, hit like, subscribe, comment. If you guys have any more books that you guys see often on TikTok, I will go ahead and research them for you and buy them and read them in a video. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll certainly get to that come the new year. Until next time, hope you guys are having a wonderful week, and if not, if you had kind of a tough holiday like I did, Hopefully your guys' week gets better for you, and hopefully the start of December will be worth your while. Bye.